It's Alexis from Perjaloo, and I'm really excited today because I'm teaming up with my friend Colleen from Lemon Thistle for a brand new series of videos that we are going to be doing all about using your Silhouette or your Cricut machine for lots of fun, different craft DIY home projects. And we're calling it Silhouette versus Cricut. It's not really like a fight, it's just, I don't know, I made a thing. Anyway, the idea is we're both gonna work on the same type of project. I'm gonna use my Silhouette, she's gonna use her Cricut, so you can see any kind of instructions or specifics that you need for whatever machine you're using. And then you can also see the different ways that we use the material or theme and get lots of fun crafty ideas from both of us. And today, we're going to be tackling heat transfer vinyl, but instead of just applying heat transfer vinyl to a t-shirt like you normally would, we are going to be putting heat transfer vinyl onto wood. Why? Why wouldn't I just use adhesive vinyl? Well, you can just use adhesive vinyl. Let me show you though why I like heat transfer vinyl on wood. Boop. All right, so these signs look really similar, but this one was made with adhesive vinyl and this one was made with heat transfer vinyl. I prefer the way this one looks. Let me show you why. First of all, the adhesive vinyl is really glossy. Can you see that? This is a permanent adhesive vinyl, which usually has a glossy finish, and that can be great for some projects, but on wood, it definitely looks kind of like a sticker stuck onto it. If you want it to look more like you painted it without having to do the stencil and the paint and all that, then adhesive vinyl is the way to go. It still has a little bit of a sheen to it, but definitely not as much, and it's thinner, so it feels like it's almost painted on, and it kind of melts into the wood. I'm gonna show you how to do it. Let's start in our Silhouette software.
The first thing you need to do is open up your Silhouette Studio software and then open up your file. I'm using a hand-lettered SVG file that I'll include a link to in the description. And then you need to size your design to fit on your sign or wooden surface. Next, because we're working with heat transfer vinyl and we're cutting on the wrong side, we need to mirror our image. Object, mirror, flip horizontally. Now it will cut so that it's read properly after applied. I'm adding a little weeding box just to make it easier to remove the excess vinyl after it's cut. You don't have to do that, but if you'd like to. And now we're ready to send. So you can see I don't have the cut lines around my design, so I'm gonna click on it and then choose cut. And then I'm gonna find the material I'm using. I am using a smooth heat transfer vinyl for this sign. And if I need to, I can adjust my cut settings, and I always recommend a test cut, especially if it's a new material. And then I'm actually using a ratchet blade, so I'm gonna change that and send it to your machine to cut. Okay, so here we have our cut piece of heat transfer vinyl. It can be a little bit difficult to see those cut lines, but if you kind of move it around or hold it up to light, it makes it easier to see. And I'm gonna start by peeling off that box that I made around my design, my weeding box. And I love using this sharp weeding hook, but you can use different kinds of hooks, tweezers, needles can be useful. Just start by carefully peeling off that outside edge. And then last, we need to use our hook or needle or tweezers to peel out all of the little holes from inside our letters. Done! Next, I just need to trim off that extra vinyl from the outside of my box. And now it's time to apply it to our wood. So when you have a cut design like this, that clear plastic backing is sticky, and that can help to hold your design in place. So smooth that onto your surface and get it stuck kind of down in position where you want it to be applied. Next, I'm using my ironing mat here so I can iron on my table. And I like to cover with a piece of parchment paper just to protect my surfaces. And I've got my iron set on cotton with no steam. I'm giving it lots of pressure, and be sure to check it often because it can start to melt and get kind of wrinkly and bubbly. This bottom section looks good, but as I peel up, I see it's not quite attached here at the top. So this is good, but I'm gonna go back with the iron up here. Give it a little more heat and pressure. Let's check it again. It looks good. And just check it out. It's looking pretty good. If there's any sections that maybe need some more heat, make sure you use a piece of parchment paper over the top of your vinyl. You don't ever want to put an iron directly on your vinyl. It will totally be a melty mess. But I think it looks great. You can see that the vinyl is really kind of melted down into the wood almost, and it just looks really smooth and nice. I tried the same technique on a piece of painted wood here with this arrow, and it worked really well too. Had a little bit of a harder time getting the clear plastic backing to stick down on the painted surface, so I just had to really rub it down. But other than that, everything else worked pretty similarly to the bare wood. Next, I tried this with a piece of stained wood and a metallic heat transfer vinyl, this pretty rose gold vinyl. And again, it worked really well. I needed to use the iron a little bit longer with this vinyl, and I think it's because it's a little bit thicker than the smooth vinyl I used on the other two signs, but it's really pretty. Last up, I decided to add some holographic heat transfer vinyl strips to the bottom of this little wooden box. So the holographic heat transfer, it's a little bit hard to see. One side is slightly more matte than the other, and the side that's more matte is where the adhesive is. I'm using a piece of masking tape to hold my strip in place because I don't have the adhesive exposed on the clear black backing like I did with my more intricate designs. And this vinyl took a little bit more heat because it's much thicker than the other ones I used, so I just skipped the parchment altogether. Now, holographic vinyl is a cold peel vinyl, which means you have to let it cool down before you can peel off that clear plastic backing. So once it's cool to the touch, you can use your nails, or you can use your weeding hook for this too. Find the corner and peel off that backing and you're all done. I think it looks really great. It's thicker than the other heat transfer vinyls, but it's super shiny and pretty and makes an awesome box. Okay, that's it. What do you guys think about heat transfer vinyl on wood? Are you going to give it a try? Tell me about it in the comments, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the awesome crafty goodness. Happy making!